right, live in 3, 2, 1.
It's your boy Daniel Lyons Evans, and we are inside the den. We are live. Once again, this is an unrehearsed, unscripted show. So what you see is what you get. And I'm super excited today because we have some very, very, very special guests. I know that y'all probably hear me say that every week, but this is really the truth. We have some very special guests here today, all the way from Statesboro, Georgia. We have my man Five Star here. Represent Five Star.
What's going on, man? I'm from Statesboro, Georgia. Really from Millen, Georgia. Moved Statesboro, so you know what I'm saying.
And then we have Cali here, all the way from Statesboro. Represent, bro.
What's up, man? Really from California, Boston, California, 442. We know Statesboro, Georgia. I'm put on the phone sign, but yeah. You're right. I read it. You're right, man.
And then I have my man over here all the way to Cali's left here, Mr. Now this guy here, me and him been hanging out all day. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Yo, what's up? My name is Baby Quan 43. You already know what it is. I'm from North Carolina, High School.
Baby Quan 43. This is my little Denzel Washington, young Denzel Washington here.
That's my
little by the name of Baby Quan 43.
Shout out to Fiji, man. I'll keep the Fiji word.
And to my left is my co-host, super music producer, King Ashbell. Represent Ash.
What's up, man? I don't even know this stuff.
So look, man, we've been vibing all day with these young men here, and I've been just kind of just chilling, man. I'm very impressed with these young men with the ability to create something from nothing and come up with these lyrics. And I put them on the spot earlier, had them to give you some freestyle work, man, and was just dissecting their lyrics, man. I gotta tell you, these guys are very intelligent. The lyrics are off the chain, man, and I'm so glad to be able to bring these guys together. We got people from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different platforms, and I think the ages are from 16 all the way up to 26. So it's a different, different dynamic, man. And we're gonna do things a little bit different today. I got my co-host here, King Ashbell, because this is his field, and he has. I'm gonna tell y'all a story before we get started. This is my buddy here, man. I told a story earlier in the week about how I was so impressed by the ability to be in the presence of this guy. Now he's been in my world for 3 or 4 years, something like that, right? I finally had a chance to get in his world, man, and I was telling y'all earlier in the week that we was having a conversation, and this man turned our conversation into a track. And that right there blew my mind, because I know people have their way of being able to interpret what people are saying, things like that. Like I said, if you are an artist, you might see words in color, you know what I mean? But for him to take that conversation and turn it into a song, it blew my mind. So I'm very and honored for him to be on our show today. And I'm going to let him kind of chop it up with the youngsters here in the music industry and the music field. And we just going to vibe like that, man, and see, you know what I'm saying, what all, we can come up with on that, brother. So.
All right, man. What's going on, brothers? You spoke earlier, man. I just have y'all here. I know he already did the introductions and all that, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start off with the meat of the. So what separates y'all from every other rapper in the industry?
I feel like me, personally, I'm gonna be myself. I'm not gonna go on the song trying to be like this person. I'm not gonna go on the song trying to sound like this person. I'm gonna sound how I sound, so a lot of people try to copy everybody else, try to be like this person, like look up to new people. I'm gonna be me. That's why I feel like they be different. Like I'm gonna represent me in any way. Like you can think about how you want to think about it, but I'm still just gonna do me on these songs and all that. So that's my opinion. That's how I look at it. I'm different.
I mean, I'm big on like just being yourself. I mean, I always been like different from the past. You know, so just me, like how I carry myself. You know, I know I was different, but like I never let that get to me. The outsiders. People gonna talk. People gonna say what they gonna say, but like just growing up, high school really, really getting that feel of like separate yourself, like see what you really want to be. You find something. So ever since I've always been like different, but stayed in my lane the same way. You feel me? So my music, my sound, for like just my background. I want, I know it kind of like cliche, been through a lot, but like I'm experienced a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And I went through a lot, just growing up single parent home stuff like that. But I just like got a story to tell you. I don't want people to hear my story, and that I don't want to make an art out of it. You know what I'm saying? So people can like really like enjoy it, just not just like hearing it like, oh man, like concrete. I want people to enjoy it. So different type of tapping into different type of genre. I just don't actually just do rap, do other stuff like R&B singing, all that stuff. I do want to show people my creativity outside of making art. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna show people on what my song, my music.
Well, I could say I look for the for like in life, like the same thing he said. I grew up in a single parent home, but the thing about it, I want this to my dad, but sometimes I just rap about my pain and how I feel about certain things, or I just don't talk to nobody. Like truly, I stay to myself, but I think more about me, my music, and my passion, and what I want to be in life and where I want to go. You see what I'm saying? So that's it.
So for those that are looking on, I don't know if y'all can see. There's a brother over here. Everybody in the room is gonna get some shine. We're not gonna call him out here in the open, but we just want y'all to know there's a brother who's over here showing support. I don't even know if I'm looking at a camera, but there's a brother over here. For those of y'all, there's a brother showing support. So just know that they have support, and I think that's a huge ordeal.
Security right there.
That's
Hey,
a
shout out
huge.
to all my boys though.
Oh, yeah, we got
Yeah.
Amen Tyler.
Yeah,
We got T Hunter.
yeah,
My brother Ryan Hendricks.
yeah.
We got
Duffy,
we got
Issa,
Todd,
Yaye.
my boy Tug, my boy Vito,
Fancy.
Ramsey. We got a whole bunch of people.
Yeah,
Everybody.
yeah.
We got Muffhead. That's one of our homies too. She out.
Facts.
A lot of us. We really like.
There's a lot of people
got our
behind
own
that,
little
you know what
clique.
I'm saying? Not just for us.
Yeah.
Everybody on the great with it. We just got
Yeah.
keep it rolling.
Now I will say this: never forget the people that birthed you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Something
But y'all would.
Yeah, facts.
Don't ever forget that.
My mama and all them.
There you go.
That's
I go up.
Y'all single parent homes, and y'all
Yeah,
like, yo,
yeah.
shout out to Rob, shout out to Butler. Where's mama?
Yeah.
Where's mama? Like,
Yeah.
all right. So let's say y'all make it to the industry.
Yeah.
Let's say y'all tomorrow. Let's say, matter of fact, let's say 3 years from now, y'all make it to the industry. Boom, y'all here. So, what's something about the industry y'all would want to change? Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, that is.
Change. I don't want it to change at all. I want to keep how it is. You find what I'm saying? Because like the people out there now, if you being yourself, that's what I'm good with that. You find what I'm saying? I don't want nothing to change. It's like just be you, do your thing. Get what you need to get. Chicken, if you need a chicken, get your chicken. If you need a fang, get the fang. Whatever you want to do what you gotta do. But don't try to step on anybody. You find what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. You find don't try to throw no dirt on here and there.
Yeah.
Come in and shit, do you? Because that's how I'm approach the game. I'm approaching it like that. And I feel like for my peers, the rap game, I want the same energy in return.
Yeah, I don't really know. Like, I don't know what they're saying. Like, people do their own thing. I look at how he said, like, I in the industry, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm saying my own lane. You know what I'm saying? If I meet people, I meet people. If I don't meet people, I don't meet people. But I don't know really what it's change. Be how you live. That's what I say. Say how you live. But don't be acting funny. I ain't gonna get the industry start acting funny. Yeah, that's the worst thing to do.
Well, I would say be yourself. The more you be yourself, the more attention you get, and the more people will help you. The more I would say, like, some people be disrespectful to people that be trying to help them. But at the same time, you got to stop that sometimes. But if they did something wrong to you or hurt you, or saying you can't do nothing, do this, and do everything, just be you. Just roll with it.
So let me ask you a question. I know y'all are still like fresh into this. And I know King Asheville, he knows this already. But are you prepared for the grind that it might take to get to a deal? Because They say an overnight success takes how long? 5 to 10 years for overnight success.
Yeah.
So by the time you hear that demo on the radio, that's on the radio, they already been saying that song 10 years. Do you have the stamina to make it to the record deal? And when you make it to the record deal, or make it to where you call success, do you understand the game that you're getting into?
Well, definitely. I've been having deep thoughts about that. That's a lot. Recently been thinking about like, am I really gonna I know I ain't gonna blow like right away, so I might not. But I was thinking like, am I really gonna put in the time? Like I know it might take years. I told him I'm ready. Like I'm not ready. I'm gonna grind. Like I said, I feel like there's too many signs that can show me like you gotta keep grinding and it's gonna help you out eventually. It's gonna get your way. So I feel like I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the years. Nice time. Like we really like it's people that we from that do the music stuff like producers and stuff. So we willing to take the time and go out of town 3 hours away almost every week and put in time and pay our money to grind for it. So I feel like we is ready to, no matter how long it's gonna take.
I feel like God gave it tough to battle through strong shoulders. I mean, you know what I'm saying, like I said before, the challenges I went through in my life, I really like not trying to, be anything. This right here, like easy to me. You know what I'm saying? Writing around in my room, go to a recording and stuff like that. I feel like this is the easy part to me. I mean, the success gonna come with it. If you put in the work, the good success gonna come with it. So I feel like this ain't nothing to me, to be honest. But like the challenges, I don't been through it. I know I've been through challenges stuff like that. I feel like if there's another chance in front of me, I'm gonna face it. I'm gonna go through it to get to what I really want to get to and accomplish what I need to accomplish. Yeah, I'm willing to do all that. Willing to, fight, sacrifice. I'm a sacrifice a lot. You know what I'm saying? But keep going. For me and others around me, we found my family, my brothers, everything around me. So yeah, I'm ready to put in that grind, put in that time now.
Same for me. I'm ready to put in the work and try to do what I can do. But I really want to talk to my mom about it first, see how she's feeling. Because she still got real openings. So I can really got to see her and see what she think about it.
Yeah, like I ain't even listening to you. I mean, I feel like I probably going to go independent, depending on how the deal talking about. Feel me? That's what I'm really looking at.
It's like
The record deals sound nice, but sometimes there's a lot of messed up record deals out there. So if I can say independent, make my money, I'll do that. But record deal comes with a good thing, I'm take it.
right now, for me, I'm looking for a good producer that could like get one good song, just let people know how I feel. Just like one good pen song so somebody can really understand like what I'm going through and how hard life is for. Like that's what I'm looking for.
So y'all mentioned on 2 questions, be yourself. For those that don't know you, I'm sure you got your lives tapped in, but for everybody else may not know you. So tell us, like, who is you? Who is you? You can start off with where your names came from, your artist name, 5 Star, Sally, my bad, Cali, and Baby Quan, 40, my bad, brother. Yeah, so y'all can start off with just telling us where they came from, real quick.
Well, I got the name Baby Quan 43. I just gave myself that name, so I just came up with it.
Okay.
So I thought it was a really good name for me.
That wasn't your game of tag, man. Oh, no, okay.
Nah,
So I didn't see you on Fortnite.
but I just thought about it. I said that might be a good name for me, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of stuff that I want to do in life, but at the same time, the reason why I got that name, my mom and my auntie couldn't get my name right, so they always call me Baby Quan. And especially my uncles, they all been drunk and stuff like that. It's whatever. But shout out to my auntie that died, and she really motivated me for this right now. Like I really miss her, when she was still here to see this. But she gone, so she in a better place. As long as I know she good, I'm straight.
Oh, me, Cali, it's straight. I feel like it's straightforward, but I'm originally from California, Palm Springs, California. I stayed over there for like 45 years. My brother from Compton, Inglewood, not too much like Compton really the main city at Compton, California. My sister was born in San Diego. My mom and my dad had their little thing going on, so they part ways. So, when I came back over here, I really wasn't big on nicknames. You find my name like Rob and stuff like that, but like, I really wasn't big on nicknames. So like, bro, we need a name for it. So we used to go out now to these little parties and stuff like that. My boy named shout out to Dev, aka Salt, who like, you can't be going out here giving me your real name, because that's down fit you for real, for real. You gotta come with the name and all that. I said, you can't be, I said, all right, he said, which one go with? I said, Cali. So, all right, you gonna roll with that then? I said, yeah. So I started going with Cali. So me, talking to girls, stuff like that, I was Cali. And it started coming, it started sticking, stuff like that. And now that's my name, Cali, that's where I'm from. So yeah, that's why I got my name.
My birthday is in May, and that's like, that's the 5th month. So like 5 and number 22, that's like that's a big number to me. That's my birthday. So, and I look at myself like, I'm a star. I'm gonna be a star. I've been playing sports. Everybody used to tell me, "Oh, bro, you gonna be a star, bro. You gonna be good, bro. You gonna make it. Don't forget about blah, blah, blah." So like, and I picture like 5-star, like the best, best rating. I feel like I'm the 5-star version of me. So that's where 5-star come from. Like, I'm a 5-star guy. So I name myself 5-star. I get mine.
And see, that's the thing. Like a lot of people, if you would have broke down, they would have just assumed it was gang related, or they would have assumed it was something associated with your melanin.
Yeah.
But it has a deeper. That's why it's good to announce that. So it's good that y'all gave that. Yeah, there's a deeper understanding of how you think.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you. I'm talking a lot, man. I'm asking. I don't know. If
I mean, yeah, it's cool, man. This is a different vibe. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna explain mine. Being the Lions' pride and everything, the Lions' den. Most people think that the lions you see, they think that represent me being a Leo. I'm not a Leo. I'm not a Leo at all. I was named after Daniel the Lion's Den, which is in the Bible. And that's basically where the lions come into play. I've been to the lions. I've seen where, and the lion's den is a psychological place, but it's also a physical place where someone tried to put you in a place. And if you read the story of Daniel the lion's den, they purposely didn't feed the lions so that when they put him in there, the lions would eat him up. But what happened was when he got into the lion's den, he had faith in God, and God turned the lion's intention from harming Daniel to being Daniel's protector. So when you come into the lion's den, the lions here are protectors.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So me being Daniel in the lion's den, I just went with the whole lion's den persona. And everything you see is based on being in the lion's den and the lion's pride. So, and the pride came from, because the lion, the male lion is African animal. They know the lion is being the king of the jungle. Lions are they are social creatures, and they like to create prides. And a pride is a group of lions that they run a particular region of land.
Yeah.
And this is where the pride comes from. All these young men here, I started my mentorship program 3 years ago, and King Ashbel was unofficially one of my first guys that came to the program. And I just had to extend it from the den being more intimate out to the pride, which is like the community, things like that. So that's kind of where my whole lion persona comes from. It's like I say, it's always good to have a story so you know what you're representing. And then it's all about the brand. King Ashbel, you see what he got around his neck, right?
Yeah.
You see what he got on his arm, right? That's him building his brand. So every time you hear the word king or you see the word king, you automatically think of King Ashbel. And so when you're doing your thing, you're promoting, your advertising, you want to get people to recognizing your brand, recognizing you as your brand. So when people hear the word Cali, they should think about you. If they hear the word California, they should think about you being from California.
I feel like I'm moving in that direction now.
Well, you have to, you know what I mean? And that's why you see so many too many lions in it. When you leave and you see a
Lion,
lion,
one thing you.
you're gonna always think about the lion's pride because of those lions. So that's something that I learned, a long time ago when it comes down to branding. Matter of fact, Michael Jackson was talking about why he wear those glitter socks.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he wanted the people to focus on his feet when he was dancing. So he wore those socks because that's a
Yeah, that's
a magnet to your eyes.
Yeah, that's eye
And when you see Michael Jackson dancing, you automatically looking at what? You look at his feet. And so those socks are known all over the world. You see those glitter socks, you think about Michael Jackson. Anytime somebody spins, you think about Michael Jackson. So it's just, a little branding technique that you want to try to subliminally put this in people's head and mind and all that kind of stuff. So where do your name come from?
So my birth name, that name in Hebrew is Ashwell. So my birth name is Jediah. And just I wasn't big on nicknames. Street nomenclatures is what you want to make it sound cool. Instead of saying a nickname, say this is my street nomenclature. That's what I'm saying. And also, instead of thinking about branding as if it's brand, think of it as brand.
Yeah.
Instead of saying this is my brand, this is my brand. Because like I told you earlier, art is an extension of self. So there's anything you put inside this as an artist, you're gonna dissect it. That's the way your body works. You're gonna dissect it, empty out the parts that you don't need, but you're gonna keep the nutrients and vitamins. So if you don't feed yourself, it don't have to be a book. It can be other sources of knowledge. But if you don't feed yourself, your brain will lack. So you have to continue to feed yourself because that's exactly what everybody else is looking. They're looking to consume from you.
Right.
They're not looking to eat with you necessarily. They're looking to consume from you. There's a lot of those types of people. So
Leeching up
they can leech, they can support,
Yeah.
they can invest, but they're consuming something from you. Even people that you deal with. If they didn't have anything to offer you, think about how many people you wouldn't deal with.
Yeah.
If they had nothing at all. Whether that's conversation, whether that's just their time, their quality, anything. So just think of brand as brand. But anyway, yeah, that's where my name came from.
Hey,
The
this way y'all need to speak up.
Yeah.
Y'all,
Oh, my God.
y'all speak up. They can't hear y'all.
Oh, yeah, from that. I might have to bring it closer. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
I might have to bring it.
So
Yeah,
King Asheville is very deep, when it comes down to self-preservation and being real deep on, what he reads and what he consumes, things like that.
I'm sorry about this, y'all.
No, you good. And like I was telling y'all earlier, like he was the one that pointed out to me that when you're doing art, when you're doing music,
Right.
you have to watch who you listen to because you'll start sounding like the person who you
Listen
favor, right?
Yeah.
So I asked King Asheville, I said, who do you listen to when you're trying to create, or who do you listen to most? He said, I don't listen to nobody. What kind of music you listen to? I listen to classical music. Why? Because I don't need no influence when I'm trying to create from scratch. You know what I mean?
Right.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Because if I'm a heavy Bones Thugs & Harmony listener, if I'm a heavy Tupac, if I'm a heavy certain, I think he had mentioned something about one of y'all sound like, you said the baby?
Lil Baby, what you said Gunna, Drake, and pretty much NBA Youngboy.
He was able to pick that up because apparently he knows that style of rap. I'm not really, what I'm saying, deep on who sounds like who,
Right.
but that's because that's one of your favorite rappers.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with learning from the best. See that man on the wall right there? Emmitt Smith. He is, he got the record for the most rushing.
One of the greatest running of all time.
I wanted to learn how to play football at that position from the best, so I studied this man's game, right?
Right.
Nothing wrong with studying and learning from the best, but you still have to have your own identity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like, you don't want to be recognized as
That sound
the
like
new little baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that, I remember when I was in high school, they used to call me Baby Emmett, right? When I was in high school. And my daddy took offense to that. He was like, Baby Emmy, you my son. Ain't no darn Baby Emmy. I'm like, it's just a nickname, you know what I mean? So being able to separate yourself from who your favorite artist is, if you're not working on an album in particular, or if you're not actually, in the studio on a regular, then I don't know. Would you suggest to listen to other types
That's
of
my
music?
way. That's my way, and it's a relationship. You build a relationship with yourself more through music. Yours is pain. That's the relationship you have with yourself. So when you pressing against music, you know what I'm saying? That's what type of hug you give them. When you hug music, it can be a soft touch. It can be a, you know what I'm saying? It can be a little bit more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? When you touch music, it's a relationship. And we don't say with a woman because that's how we roll it.
Right.
So,
Right, yeah, that's
We agree on something.
why is, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so your relationship with music is gonna be based on your relationship with yourself. And
Right.
if your relationship at this point is a little bit wobbly or whatever the case may be, then that's how your music is gonna be. So my way of dealing with the kinks and my armor, and when it comes to music, is by listening to classical music or music that to me identifies with what I would like to become. Classical music, you had to go sit somewhere and experience that. Back in the day, you had to go sit and they orchestrated it. It was unity there. You had to experience classical. It wasn't now we can listen to it, but way back when you couldn't just. You had to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna listen, and it was formal. You know what I'm saying? They dressed like something. So to me, that's what I would want to represent one day. I would want to represent that in hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily, I wouldn't recommend anybody do, because not every diet is for everybody.
Yeah.
Not every diet is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So bars, nigga.
That's hard.
You just got some dudes right there. You just got some dudes.
So and whatever diet you have, man, don't start me, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Say it one more time.
Not every diet is for everybody.
All right.
You pause it. Not every diet is for everybody. But yeah, so so in the same way I could like a vegan diet, I wouldn't recommend, you know what I'm saying? I could recommend it based on my experience and what it's done for me, but at the same time, you have to find your own way, you know what I'm saying? Because you may have a different goal in mind. So for me, that's just the way I detox.
Right.
That's my detox, is eating green.
Right.
That's my green. Your green could be something totally different, Khaled. You know what I'm saying? Your green could be something totally different, but either or, you know what I'm saying? But either way.
Y'all better pick them up, baby. Y'all better pick them up.
But either way, man, that detox is necessary, because when you go into this mode of creativity, you don't want those blockages. And there's a lot already that could be, because it's hard to be vulnerable sometimes. It's real hard, because it's hard to articulate in a way where I'm not just directly pulling out I'm trying to be an artist with it. I'm not just trying to paint a black and white. I want it to have some color. There's a lot you think about, especially if you're a perfectionist, which a lot of artists are. A lot of artists are. That chef gonna cook that meal, and they gonna look at it like, no, it's not good. You can be eating like, yo, this the bomb, but they looking like, no, the texture. I'm like, no, I don't care about the texture. But they know their optimal cooking. They know like, oh, this is what I can do. So sometimes you make some songs and somebody be listening to it like him who may not be in the music industry and look like, oh, this is good. But you like, yeah, this is all right.
That's exactly what you can ask him right here. I play some time like, I don't even like this. What you talking about, man? That's the hardest song you got. I'm like, I don't really like that, but hey, it's somebody.
So let me ask y'all this. I'm talking to him. Let me ask y'all this. If y'all had to choose one person in the industry right now to collaborate with, who would it be? That could bring out that potential that y'all know y'all got.
Give me
As an artist, producer, if you know the whole game, throw them out there. Who will be your starting five? If you had to work with them and say, yo, this is who's gonna bring the best out of me.
I feel like I'm just gonna go to Young Thug. I mean, I feel like if I gonna try him, I got to go stupid hard. Like I get all I got. Him, baby, you know. Let me do a little different. Let me do somebody different. Even Dub Baby. I gonna try to Dub Baby not to go hard. I know he's gonna come hard. So I gotta like, put my name out there. Producers, give me who are the producers? I get
Metro.
Yeah, Metro Boomin or somebody like that. I know him to go hard because they're a well-known producer. It's gonna make me push me to my limit, you know. That's me right there. Who you think?
I feel like top five. It'll give you five. Number one is Drake. Obviously, I feel like he's the best in the game right now. He gonna bring the best. You feel like because if you expect from Drake, like if you working with you, if you work with him, nigga, okay. Well, let's see who's gonna bring to the table. We all know what Drake gonna bring. Let's see what Kelly gonna bring. That's number one. Number two, let's tap into some R&B. I want to do Summer Walker. I want to tap into Summer Walker. I love her voice. That's beautiful, baby. You know what I'm saying? Bryson Tiller. I like Bryson Tiller music. I want to tap in more like rap, R&B, melodic type sound. Another artist, he probably not do art more main behind the computer now producing Kanye West. I like tapping Kanye. I like
Old Kanye, new Kanye.
I want to tap in old. I want to see I can do tap like old Kanye.
I like the old Kanye, the hombre Kanye. The
A lot of
Peter
people
Kanye.
this generation don't really know about Kanye. You know what I'm saying? I want to now. I don't want to stay alive because we moving on. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we like this where this sound come from. You know what I'm saying? Let's pay respect. You know what I mean? But Kanye was different, real different. A lot of people really don't know that.
So let's talk about some of your background. Hold on, I'm gonna get to it because I remember you saying earlier that you're more influenced by R&B versus hip hop.
Yeah.
Who's some of the artists that some of the R&B people that you actually
Just names.
Me, growing up, more from my mom. My mom, that's how she played R&B. You know what I'm saying? That's what I grew up on. That's how I got introduced to me through R&B. Like me remembering lyrics, remembering sounds, like the way they sang on the voice. Like, I just love singing. I just love that. I just know how to rap. You know what I'm saying? But like R. Kelly, despite what he got going on and all that stuff, I'm just the straight music. You know, I'm the straight music about R. Kelly, Avant, Marion, Chris Brown. When I got introduced to Drake, like a lot of people like that. Just let me tell you something. MJ and Mary J. Blige, Michael, all that stuff. Like I just really lock in with R&B with it. So I got brought up on R&B. My dad, not my dad, my granddad. He was a DJ growing up. He was doing the DJ thing. He used to tap in. I can't remember the dude name. He used to wear diaper on the stage. And I can't remember the name. Dude name. I don't remember the name. I don't remember his name. Like I can remember. It was so old. So like the way the sounds he used to play when I was growing up, he used to cut that hair. I used to listen to that. It really wasn't rap like that. Then I got into rap. Like I was telling you before, my favorite rapper growing up, number one was Eminem. I like how the way he rapped. He switched it up, stuff like that. And he was being him. He was a white kid. I was like in the rap game. I'm like, dang, he's different. I like that, but at the same time, he established himself. And we looked at Dr. Dre took him under his wing. I'm like, okay, that was hard. Then after Eminem died, I was like, okay, that was Wayne. The way people call it punchlines. The way you come in like that, you gotta really think about what you're saying. Like Wayne was crazy on the beat. Damn, bro. I'm like, I want to do that. So I never got into that. Like the Wayne took a kid named Drake under his wing. I was like, all right, Drake. Mom introduced me to Drake as his name is Drake. I'm the Drake, all that. Like not all the his stuff. Like I'm talking about dissecting his music, the way he rap, the way he stuff like that. So the way he carries stuff as an artist. Because nowadays artists flashy and all that stuff. Drake don't carry stuff like that. You find Drake more chill and stuff, but he's still the best in the game. This man don't do none of that. But his music, he let his music do talking, the work he was talking. So people let him have to go to music. That's why I want to be known as the best in music. Just that to music. But yeah, them some examples people I like.
Well, the top 5 artists I would think and such look 2 producers. One I wanted to put on the song with Youngboy, and second is Rod Wave and DJ Khaled.
Why DJ Khaled? I'm just curious. You
It's,
said you want to be on a song with DJ Khaled,
yeah,
so
'cause
he's gonna have a verse.
yeah, he has he produced music, and one thing he says another one. That's all he said.
That's all he know about.
Yeah, that's all he said.
That's all he learned about.
That's all he said.
Keep going.
That's all he said.
Keep going. Yeah.
Well, hey, I guess that's the trend on another one.
It's like that's all he says, but at the same time,
That's all you need.
yeah, that's all he needs, that motivation.
Oh no!
Having
Man, you
like,
just
I get what you're saying. Like, oh, he on my song saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second producer I want work with is you.
Hey, all right,
Oh,
brother.
wow.
That's
I love the song.
King
Yeah.
Ashbell got a request out of it.
that was dope, man.
So
Appreciate that. If we can make that happen. What time y'all?
Look, he already,
We serious.
he over here like this, like he's scratching, like he ready to get in the studio right now. Like, man, calm down.
I'm ready right now.
I am too.
So let me ask you, where did your biggest pain come from in your music? Like, what's the thing that you want to go deep to come up out of that hole on if you have to deal with it?
A lot of people don't even know this. Like, I don't went through a lot of stuff too, but people look at me like, well, you did that. You think
Are you the pretty boy in your?
That's what they try to hear. You know, people.
Are you yellow?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really the darkest out of my people. Like,
You the darkest of your people?
my sister and my brother.
Turn the lights off, so we can still see him in the dark.
I ain't gonna lie, my sister and my brother like his color. You know what I'm saying? They real light. Cause my dad he mixed. So my mom she a brown skin woman. She, you know, he biracial. That we got it from his people and stuff like that. So, but really the pain, like in my music, some of my songs, like I talk about how a lot of people like can be shady and like people will try to look over you or there's been times where my house, we done got robbed. We gonna rob our house. There's been times it was my grandparents and all of us living together, like, cause you know what I'm saying, like struggling. Everybody don't struggle at times. I think, man, we don't even know, like back in the day, my spot used to be a gamble spot just to go, so we can go shop and go get some clothes for us. Like one of them gamble, I used to be good. Down there watching them play cards, taunting and all that. Then okay, we can go to the mall because they done came, you know what I'm saying? We had to do that to get some money sometimes. But yeah, like I talk about people like watch out for people hating, watch out for people sneak this on you. Don't have people bring negative energy on you. Like it's a lot of that's the pain. We like a lot of fake stuff. You know what I'm saying? I done seen a lot of fake stuff. I done experienced a lot of fake stuff.
So where your pain come from, Kelly? Like if you had. Do you have any pain?
Yeah. Of course. I'm a black man in America. I live with pain every day.
Speak on it, bro.
Yeah,
Speak on it.
Pain is like it depends what you're trying to really get into. Your individual pain around you, the outside. What's going on in today's society. Pain, like I feel like I pick up to all that stuff relate to me. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff he touched on is relatable to I feel like to every black man in here. You know what I'm saying? But like we all get that. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm gonna touch on to like what's I've been feeling, like me, I want to touch on like, depression and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like some people might feel a certain type of way and they don't know how to express that in certain type of their music. So I don't want to like touch a feeling, someone how they feeling, like in my music, so you can feel this type of way, so you can listen to my type of music. So like what you're going through in life, like if you're going through that, if you're going through money issue, financially, spiritually, physically, what are you going through in that time and period? So pain just like it's not like a feeling moment. Like right now I might be happy, next day I might be just not there feeling that. So it depends like feeling such a pain. You can feel on past pain, present pain, coming in the future, stuff coming up, But like it depends what you really want to tap into, really, if you want to talk on pain. So like it's like a moment for me, like a feeling for me. I can really like tap into like pain.
Well, what I would say
I know your pain.
but what I would say about pain is like it's something like will take you down, make you feel like not normal, make you not feel like yourself. Like sometimes you might wake up in the morning angry, like I do every time, but I find something to do, which is music. So every time I wake up in the morning, I pray. Like the earliest morning I did, walk on right in the car. But the pain that I'm having right now is like my dad not being there to support me. And I just want him around. But it's a crazy stepmom that's acting like a butt. I'm gonna say it like that, but it's like her grandkids, like they just disrespect me all the time, blame me for stuff. But I just let it ride because at the end of the day, they're gonna reap what they sow. My mama always said it around. I always pick that up. Then sometimes I cry some nights, sometimes I don't. But it's the pain that's living inside me just with my dad around. That's it. Like I'm not trying to grow up without him around to see me graduate and walk off the stage and everybody asking me to go do work. If you want to come to come get me, but everybody keep asking me this, this, and that. So basically, you really don't have time. And that makes me angry at the other person that's asking me this stuff. But at the same time, I can't get mad because he got to work to make money. Then is on the other part is my mama upset, crying, this, and that. That bothers me really bad. And I'm tired of seeing that. Mama's struggling, she's struggling now. Ty flew off the own van. She really got no car right now. I'm glad that she trying to get something. And then on top of that, I'm stressing out and trying to help her get a new vehicle. So
You
she
on live right now?
Yeah.
What the hell your mama ain't looking for?
Who done told my people?
No, it's just all I'm saying, I'm just trying to help her out. Just
So let me ask y'all this question. I know y'all got a lot of pain, depression, or whatever, you know, the corona and all this stuff that's taking people to a different level. Do you have a diary or a journal that you write in to express some of those feelings that you might be feeling?
yeah,
I say that's my notes, and I write down lyrics.
like
I'm saying that's my journal.
Like-
I didn't
Write the
even know.
songs.
yeah, I got
You know, you
a
can go through your notes and come up with some songs, bro.
Yeah, that's all
I got
do.
I got
Top
plenty of
down, top
notebooks,
down.
but sometimes like I'm not gonna lie, it makes me angry. Like when I go live last time, just like a few weeks ago, this dude came up there and said I couldn't rap. People always getting up there disrespecting me. I'm like, bro, did your mama ever teach you how to respect people? They got off and never got on again. Ask me that kid. Nope, really did. I mean, y'all can get mad that I'm trying to be something in life. Y'all not gonna stop me from my dreams. For one thing, I'm gonna get mine. But what about you?
Yeah, you look at some real.
What about you?
So I asked y'all this question earlier, off the camera.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you the question again on the camera. What is your definition of wealth? We're gonna start with Cap. What's your definition of wealth?
Like I'm touching on what you touched on off the camera. Like, wealthy, it can be using certain terminology, wealthy physically, spiritually, mentally, you know what I'm saying, financially. Me, like I said before off the camera, I know money, success gonna take care of itself. If you put the work in, success gonna come with it. Financially, all that's gonna take care of itself. I just want to be like mentally, spiritually, physically wealthy in my mind, so I can keep going and do what I need to do and do what I love. What brought me into this to begin with? You find what got me doing it, like making music. You find I don't want to lose that passion of making music. Get distracted by the chain of fame, cars, the money, the bill, and all that stuff. I want to be distracted by all that. So if I stay strong in them areas, I feel like everything else will take care of itself. So right now, this day, I feel like I'm wealthy enough. Yeah.
Like you said, like you just said, you said off the camera about being physically, emotionally, and mentally, like you really opened my eyes up to that because like, at first I was just thinking, oh, wealthy like the money, like how you said, like people like, okay, I'm wealthy if I got this much money, I'm saving money. But by you saying that, I'm like, you're right, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be mentally wealthy, I gotta be emotionally wealthy. So I can have if I do become financially wealthy, I have all that. I'm living a great life then. I got all that in one. But like you said, I can be financially wealthy and be mentally messed up, and then I want to go through the suicide and stuff like that, like how you said, commit suicide. But yeah, like I said, off the camera, I was looking at that like financially, like if I got money, I'm comfortable, and I ain't got to worry about struggling or wealthy. And when my people struggling, I'm wealthy. Now I look at it as how to make sure my mind is in the right place, my body is in the right place that I need to be, and I need to have my money right. Then I look at like I'm completely wealthy. Like I can build myself and build my money. That's how I look at it now. Totally that.
Well, what I say about that is the definition I'm looking for. What I'm gonna say is being successful. For one. That's how I look at wealthy. That's my definition for it. Being successful in life, trying to make it, and know what other people say about you. Like they don't matter. Like people gonna be people. They gonna laugh, joke, be mean. So what? They don't matter to me.
So I'm gonna say this. because you can't, if you listen long enough, you can hear someone, pretty much exposed, themselves. That's why people look real hard when you're playing chess and look for any sign of, okay, see, that's you have to do that in certain games that you play. And so if you listening, I heard you say twice, you can't care what people say. And I think there's a root to that. And as an artist, remember this, bro. Art is an extension of self. You got your heart. How you spell that? Art. Anything that keeps you alive, and also things that can kill you, it's attached to your heart. Your heart. Like, and I can hear it, especially when you started going off and talking about your father and everything. You can hear that. Don't walk too far before you get those things. Don't walk too far out there. Even if you got a record deal and somebody offers you that tomorrow, don't walk too far out there before you start getting those things situated. As in, okay, yeah, I need some therapy. I need to find somebody I can talk to. Because you don't want to get somewhere where your character can't keep you. You don't want to get somewhere where your mind, your heart is not. You don't want to get broke. Like they said, I think it was Eric. He's a motivational speaker. One of the worst feelings is making it to the NBA and having to go back home. When you dream it, shooting up them shots, that's one thing. Y'all in the gym right now. Making it and having to come back because your character, your mind, you wasn't prepared. That's one of the worst feelings in the world, having to get back on that bus and be like, damn, man, I had it. I had everything I wanted. I couldn't keep it.
And that's very profound that you just said that, brother, because I did a video, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I was touching on, are you chasing your dream or your nightmare? Fine line between your dream and your nightmare. Because just like my brother here just said, you can be chasing your dream without the knowledge of how to maintain that dream, and it can quickly become a nightmare because you done made it to the league or you done made it to the industry. And the part that I was trying to get y'all to understand about the industry is it's a lot of hidden things that you're not going to see because that's not what's going to attract you to the music business. The fame, the glory, the record deal, the video, the cars, the women, that's attractive, right? Learn how to read a contract. Learn how to dissect legal paperwork, because when you sign that contract, it might say that we just taking a chance on you. You can be a best-selling author. You can be a sellout artist and still be broke because of the way the game is set up, the contract. So understand that the game of the music industry. That's why a lot of people go independent, like what he was talking about, because they don't want to be associated with all that puff and fluff that comes along with the little trinkets that get you attracted to something. And once you get there, you're like, this was the worst decision I ever made in my life, because now I don't own anything. All my music is owned by somebody else. Right. I can't record what I want to record because I'm owned by this company. I have to put out music that I'm not passionate about. So I'm just out here living a persona. I don't even like these gold teeth in my mouth. They make me put this grill in because it sells an image. Yeah. And then you like he's saying, you don't have the mental capacity to stay where you are and end up having to say, forget it, I'm going back home because it's not what I thought it was. Right. So are you chasing your dream or are you chasing your nightmare? Because you'll learn that the higher up you go, it's lonely at the top. Everybody can't do what you're trying to do. People don't have the stamina to do this for 10 years without a deal. And say, I'm gonna keep pushing until I get to where I'm at. Then you find, and then they might get there and then they get one hit and they fall off. One hit wonder. Still take 10 years for a one hit wonder. You know what I'm saying? So all the interviews, all of the shows, the touring, setting out to a crowd of people that, screaming your name and then going to a place they don't even know who you are.
And that will probably be a lot easier than having people that you know and love betray you. And then you having to make a choice. Do I want to stay or am I going to go? Or whatever the case may be, because having discernment is a skill that must be practiced. Some people say, yeah, I have discernment, but if you're never around people, and a lot of introverts have that skill because they may invest themselves in things, like books and everything, so they get an idea of the world through a book. It's like being locked in a dungeon with the dragon. And Princess Fiona was like, yeah, I've read many books on the world until she got offended. She was like, oh, well, I got some knowledge, but shit, like this is the world right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in that vein of what I'm trying to get out is I'll say it. I think I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole with it. I'll say it. I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. Yeah, but
Just know what you're chasing.
you know,
Just do your homework so that when you are studying and doing what you're doing, you're grinding for a purpose and not just grinding to be tricked or saying that, it is not just in the music industry, it's in almost every area of your life, whether you, like you said, chasing to be in the league, and when you get to the league, you realize that there's more to the league than just playing basketball. You have to have a public relations representative that actually has to do interviews, and whether you want to or not, you become a role model to younger people. You know what I mean? It's the reason why I got you all here, and you all are from different age range. You got 20, 21, you got 15, 16, you got 26.
and you can hear it. You can
You know
hear
what I'm saying? You
it.
can
If
hear
he's on the
it.
other side, you can hear he's clearly the youngest. Just by the way he articulates his thoughts. You can hear who's the oldest by the way we articulate. You can feel the energy off of just each and every, and that's just, but I will say, what I was saying, I don't want to go, so I'm going to just say this, because I'm going through it currently. Don't kick away the canoes that helped you across those rivers. Don't do that. Don't do it. Because it's lonely at the top, bro. I can't say I attest to it because I don't feel like I'm at the top yet, but I'm at a level I wasn't. Do not kick away those canoes, those boats. Even though you now have a yacht, even though you now have speedboats, don't kick away those canoes that help you across the river. Don't do that, because those yachts can be gone just like that. And if you need that canoe, you're gonna have to either you're gonna swim, and there's gonna be a lot of people, like he was telling me, like we've had conversations. There's gonna be people that will see you drowning, and the help that they'll give you is throwing you a bucket of water. That's the help they're gonna give you. And then want to congratulate you if you do make it to the shore, because you learned how to swim.
Right.
You knew how to adapt, and we built like that. A lot of us, but some of us buckled. That's why even in slavery, and I'm trying not to go that
Come on,
far.
go down, man.
But
Go down that hole.
That's why even in slavery,
I got you.
when we got emancipated, a lot of those brothers that got emancipated and they say, okay, here's your chains, get gone, be a free man. They came back to their master because they couldn't wrap their head around that level of liberty. They couldn't do it. So those things that's why I was telling my mans, those things that are changed to you now, find out a way to break them. Because once you do get that liberty to take care of your moms and be able to take care of these things, you don't want to have to go back to those masters that's here. You don't want that. Because there's still a lot of them. For instance, it's still, to me, it's still a game that is being played with our minds. Back then, when a white man called us boy, it was to say, hey, I got victory over your mind, boy. And that's what they would do a lot. Now, instead of calling us boy, they'll allow us to see so many boyish behaviors via hip hop, via the media. That's what you got. Okay, bro, you don't need to get married. Fuck as many of these black women as you need to, which I can understand. But it's still a boyish behavior. Or let's get away from the women. Or spend your money. Don't put aside for your legacy. Boyish behavior. They'll promote that. Other than that, so instead of them calling us, but they're like, we still gonna have control over your mind, because this is what we consume. This is why I listen to classical music. It'll detox. Hey, you shitting. It'll get you nice and regulated. You know what I'm saying? But if all you listening to is the garbage, you can't discern what's the garbage and what's not, even in conversation. That's why when somebody get deep or somebody you hear, because you ain't used to consuming a level of knowledge that'll help you. You so used to getting entertained. You so used to getting fed booty. And a lot of us say we don't eat ass. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Anytime you on Instagram, you laughing. Anytime we on Instagram, and just look at you can go to your explore page, and we can see. Like you can look at mine right now. You might see a booty or two. You might see, but that's exactly what I eat. You know what I'm saying? From time to time, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a vice of mine. That's a vice. But you gotta also remember, before you cross and before you split her intersection, you still need to look both ways. Because there's some paths you're gonna walk down that ain't gonna be too pleasant. You get ran over, you get ran over, you get hit. But anyway, bro,
Yeah.
I'm talking, bro.
No, that's good because you have to understand that you have to have knowledge to know where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Giving somebody broke $1 million, how long is it gonna last? Why? Because they don't have the education to keep the money or to invest the money in something else. So what he's saying is educate yourself on the way. One of the rappers that I really admire from a distance is A$AP Rocky. You know A$AP Rocky?
Yeah.
A$AP Rocky got a college degree. So he doesn't really need rap. He does rap because that's what he loves. But when I'm listening to A$AP Rocky's lyrics, it sounds like he been to college. He's rapping about things in an intellectual level. I'm like, this dude here is pretty smart. Like he's really intelligent. That's what I listen for when I'm listening to, different rappers. You know what I mean? Is it Lil Baby? Bigger Picture.
Yeah,
I was listening to that song. I used to listen to that song every morning.
Yeah, that's
Because he's living his truth. But he also talking to the youngsters about, I did what I did because I had to, but that's not the path that you need to go down. Like, you got to find a better way to do things. The positiveness in what he's in on that song. And I don't listen to all his videos, but I listen to the ones that, that intrigue me. But the point is, educate yourself now so you'll know how to handle success. You'll know how to handle finances. Because if you're living in a world where all three y'all said y'all single parent home. Single parent home. Okay. Single parent home. So you trying to survive this industry so you can help take care of your mom. You know what your mom done been in your life, and I know most of your stories because I talk to your mom, on a regular basis. And I've talked to you before on some things that you overcame. Understand that what he was talking about is to be free with nowhere to go. Is there truly freedom? When they emancipated the slaves, we talking about, we got a Juneteenth celebration coming up. Juneteenth is June 19th is the end of Black independence, right? So on that day, if you don't know the story, go back and research. But when like he's saying, when they say y'all go out, get out of here, y'all free, they didn't have any land to cultivate.
They have no education.
They didn't have no education to learn, so they end up having to come back because they didn't have anywhere to go. So understand that I can give you $200 million right now. Without any education, without any game plan, without any roadmap, where you going? It's gonna be shortly after you're gonna say, I need more money. How could you possibly need more money after this?
So you're gonna splurge it in your hood, in the place that you already are. You're gonna try to take care of people that you here instead of you. Okay, now I got the money to build. Now I can build homes to be able to put them in and take them up out of here. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be thinking that way, or maybe you could. Who knows? But they say money change. They say money don't change. Yes, money will magnify who you are. For one, that's what it does. A greater level of money because you can either be a bigger bully than what you already are, or you can be a bigger saint than what you already are. Philanthropy, all that other stuff that comes along with you having that level of freedom. that
Yeah.
freedom. You know what I'm saying? To be able to say, hey, I don't have to, like, you have to listen to that boss at your job or that manager at your job, because why? At the end, 2 weeks, you need that little paycheck. If you didn't need it. But what you say? I'm going. You know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah.
That growing level of dependency is somewhat, is not somewhat, that is, and this is a lesson that I've learned also this year, is having a high level of dependency and claiming you're a man, having a high level of dependence, that's on women, that's on any outside entities other than yourself, having a certain level of dependency, you can't claim manhood. You're not there yet. And being able to say that within yourself, to say, look, I'm still a boy. I'm still a boy. And saying that to say, you know what? I have a lot to grow in. Not to say, I'm a boy, because you 26, 36, 46, 56, still some boys out here with a high level of dependency. We all know them. You know what I'm saying? But what separates that boy from that man? I don't think men dream. Men have visions. They don't dream. I'm asleep when I'm dreaming. I think being able to wake up and then having that vision to still see what I dreamt right there projected, because it's almost like I'm seeing into the future almost. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what separates a dreamer of a boy and a man is more along that visionary line. Like he's seeing it, and not only is he seeing it, but he's walking it because he's not asleep, so his body isn't still. He's awake, so he's walking. He's fully awake, like he's a visionary. He's walking because what you, man. Anyway, man, let me ask another question because we talking a lot. Let me ask y'all a question so y'all can get the flow back, man. So we talking about history. We talking about slaves. We talking about all this. So in the history of hip hop, what are some events that stood out to y'all in the history of hip hop? Let's see if you know the history. Out of all the history that you know of hip hop, what are some events or an event that really stands out to you? You got all the hip hop. Or whatever genre if it's R&B or whatever.
Well, not too long ago. No, we see the artist of the decade from 2010 to 2020. He was the best in that field, music. You know, so you do see the artist of the decade. You know, now I look closely what he was saying, and that's why I picked up on. You know, I've been through almost there throughout his career. You know, as a fan, as a listener. I want to pick on like, okay, we label you as this, the GOAT. We label you as this. How did you think it now? Like the way he keep going, the way he keep pushing, he's unsure about things. You know what I'm saying? Keep him going. He's unsure about that. He's unsure about that. So that unsureness right there, he keep him like, okay, let's put this out. Let's see how people gonna react to it. Let's see how people gonna say to this, but when I say this by that, stuff like that. So yeah, by him receiving that award, putting above everybody in his field, is in the industry. He's still taking an ass. He's still got a lot to learn, a lot to go, a lot to grow in his in the music industry. And I say that like, damn, that's crazy because we out here calling you a gun and stuff like that, but you still got more to go in. And you look at his peers to keep him going, stuff like that. You don't get the big head or get like, man, I'm this guy. The guy, the way he moves, the way he cares, stuff like persona. That's why I pick up more about him other than music, with the way he moves and stuff like that. But that just happened like a couple weeks ago.
What was the question you said?
In the history of hip hop, you got as far back or whatever genre you find yourself placed in. What's some events or an event that really stands out to you in the history of hip hop? Or whatever.
I'm trying to go way back. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm trying to think about the whole. It was the West Coast versus the East Coast, with Tupac and Suge and all that stuff going on. I'm trying to think back again, but I feel
Did you follow that story? You know the history of that beef?
That's what I'm trying to I kind of do, but I kind of don't.
Mm-hmm.
I know a little bit. I just know as it was a big beef, and it led to Biggie passing away and stuff like that, right? And I don't really know too much about it.
So how do you think like that would be related to that? They're like
That's I mean, I can't say that. Yeah, that really stood out because that still goes on today. Because like, I really don't feel like I feel like that couldn't that a lot of that could have been prevented. You know, they could have stepped up and said, "Hey, we're gonna be the good people. We're gonna, we're not gonna take it this far because we just trying to get money too. We all trying to get money." And the point of it escalated this, so then somebody dying, and probably the reason probably really ain't even that big of a deal for the elite.
You know what they called them in slavery days when they would put a black man and a black man make them fight. You know what they would call them?
It's like, I don't think that's what you tell me.
I'll let y'all look them up. But that's what, yeah, they would have names that they would give them, and they would, hey man,
Yeah,
for our entertainment, we're gonna see who us masses. We're gonna see which nigga is gonna be the strong. I got a strong one over here. I got a strong one over here. We're gonna let them fight. I put it with bet and all that.
yeah.
So
You see the movie Django?
Yeah.
That's what you remember that
Yeah.
scene?
I don't
That's what
even.
you're talking about, huh?
I don't remember.
I don't remember when they
Hey,
got called.
hey, what's this called?
It's
Huh?
Durango.
What is called?
And then
Django.
Django. That is, I was like,
Talking about the movie.
yeah,
I'm
I
talking
was,
about what you talking about.
Oh, I said y'all look it up, man. Just
You
type
gotta
in-
look it like-
yeah, y'all gotta do some research. I can't get y'all.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's a name that they call a black man and a black man, or a nigga and a nigga. What they would call them.
Was they called what?
I don't know.
It's like horse racing.
yeah.
It's a sport.
Mhm.
It's an event.
Yeah.
You get your horse to race against this person, horse, and whoever horse is the fastest win the trophy. Whatever. He's talking about a sport that used to be popular for black slaves to beat each other to death.
Right.
To see who has to. And
Y'all
then
watch
one-
football?
Yeah.
Y'all watch college football?
Yeah,
The Cotton Bowl?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
The Cotton Bowl?
That's crazy.
What kind of bowl was it?
Kind of.
You used to pick what in the field. So all that stuff is modernized
Yeah.
slavery.
And playing sight.
And so when you
Stuff like that. That's crazy.
so let me ask y'all how y'all feel about this, because we was talking it might have been I don't know, I was talking to some guys about the concept what he was just saying about the whole boy situation. And I feel that, the moment we stop allowing ourselves to be treated as such, then the narrative will change. So for an example, last year was probably the best year to take back some control in our community as it pertains to the industry, whether it is music, whether it is NFL and NBA. The corona hit, the players had a chance to opt out of the season due to the corona, or they could play. And a lot of the NFL players did opt out of that season. People in the NBA, they didn't decide to opt out and want to play. But what would have happened if some of these big name players,
Boy.
LeBron James and all those guys, who said we're not going to play this season because we want to stand for the movement, and what the NFL would have sat down and followed behind Colin Kaepernick? What do you think would have happened?
It was a lot of chaos. I felt a lot of chaos.
What kind of chaos?
Like,
I
I
mean,
don't even know how to. I
See,
don't know what I want to say.
you
but I
young
don't know how
brothers
to
have
say
an
it.
I know.
opportunity to be the voice of the people because y'all on that platform when they listening to y'all, right?
I mean, the reason I feel like they decided to play, to continue to have the season, to push the message, just by them playing basketball, we've seen the event being played.
What message are you pushing?
Exactly. That me.
That you can be bought at a price?
Yeah, I mean,
You
I was trying to, by big names step, and big names would have, took a seat down, like took a step back, like, okay, there was that, people up top, the people upstairs, okay, let's see what we can do now to really push this message or really like get into it so we can get these names. Like everything's with a price, everything with money. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to do all that to keep it money and stuff like
Because
that.
if you really understand, like, all right, so for a salary NFL or NBA player, it make what 20-30 million dollars a year, maybe. How many do you think the owners make?
We know.
And so who wins?
The owner.
The owner or the player?
The owner.
Even in the music industry, when they sign a contract for whatever million, how much do the label make?
Now,
You know what I mean?
depending on perspective, because if I'm, if you have to choose between 20 million and minimum wage, or 20
Well-
million and, you know what I'm saying, and you got a family, priorities change.
Yeah, the priority is going to change. But as a people,
Mhm.
you ever heard of Black Wall Street?
Think-
You know what that is? So y'all brothers, do some research on your culture. Do some research on the cause. Don't just be rapping about changing, but you don't know what you're changing. You know what I mean? There used to be something called Black Wall Street, where it was all black-owned businesses, black-owned everything, and our dollar was able to be recycled in our own community, and we didn't have to go outside our community because just like you coming inside the Lions Pride, you got, taxes, credit, U-Haul, everything is out right here inside the community. You don't have to go down the street. Understand the power in having ownership in what you're doing. Like if you was writing songs, own your masters. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it was a period. You know who Prince is, right?
Mhm.
Prince changed his name to a symbol.
Mhm.
Why? Because the record label owned his name. He couldn't make money off his name without permission. That's slavery. So he changed his name to a symbol so they couldn't make money off of him. He owned the rights. He started buying his rights, his masters to his songs so he can make money without having to perform for, under that slave name. So just do some research on on the cause. So when you actually putting out music, you know what I'm saying, you putting out a message, who do you want, to hear this and how you want it to be heard? You know what I mean? What is your legacy you're trying to leave behind? What's the message overall you're trying to put out so that people can say, oh, I know what Cali stands for. Cali stands for, unity. Cali stands for freedom, things like that. I know what 5 Star stands for. 5 Star stands for, doing things a different way. Okay. So when I asked you earlier, like, what's your overall message? Like, what is your music collaboration? It's a common denominator. You know what I mean? If you're from the streets, you'll be talking about the streets, right? If you're depressed about your family not doing good, music gonna come from that place of pain. You know what I mean? You got some hurt going on from pain in your life. That's gonna be the message. But what is your message? Like all your songs collaborating together as a whole collection of work. What's the single message in all of it? What's your message? And that's where you start, really coming up with an identity. You're a peace rapper, or you a thug, or you a gangster rapper, or you a battle rapper. You know what I'm saying? Or you a mumble rapper. You know what I mean? That's what you start coming up with your identity of who you are as an individual and how you want people to view your music. Because I know there's some people that some you listen to, you already know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
This person is that kind of rapper. You know what I mean?
And even if you don't just want to stick with, because that's telling an artist to get in a box, it's kind of offensive. Like, nah, I'm trying to do everything in every way. And you know what I'm saying? You don't want to, but it's more so about art as an extension of self. I keep saying it so it gets ingrained in it. Art is an extension of self. And just to give you another example, so martial artists, when they have weapons, hip hop has been a weapon since it started. Martial artists, when they grab a weapon, certain martial artists teach that weapon is nothing more than an extension of you. So if you're angry and you tap somebody in the face with a rod and you're angry, they're going to feel that anger on the side of their face. One thing that separated Bruce Lee is he always practiced control. He always practiced calmness. He always practiced a watery type of, like, I know y'all seen that interview. He walked up with it. He practiced that. So that way no matter what happened, and that's all we're saying is just put more in your mind than what you already, that's given to you. That's given. And a lot of times we take for granted what we didn't have to pay for. We didn't have to pay for our hearts and our minds. It was given to us by the powers that be. We came on this earth with it. That's why we don't feed it as much as we should. That's why we don't really treat our own hearts and other people's hearts the way we should, because it was given to us for absolutely nothing. The things that we had to work for, we might take a little bit more care of. I had to work to get this car. I'm gonna take a little bit more care. I put more care into this car than I do my own money. I'm bent up in my mind. I cannot drive this mind of mine from A to B, but I drive this car 3 hours to get to this place. But you don't understand what the vehicle to get from where you're trying to go to what from where you are, where you is really up here. That's nice, you know what I'm saying? But this is really the vehicle that's gonna take you from point A to point B, C, D. You know what I'm saying? To get you to meet Drake or get you to or whatever. Because some kid may see you one day and be like, that's my Drake. That's my gun. You know what I'm saying? Like they may see you and see that person. Whoever that person looks like to you. Like when you said, like, I want to work with you, King Ashby, like that, you don't know me, but that made me feel great. Like that had me feel something special. You know what I'm saying? That's a special feeling. That same feeling can come your way anytime. And all he's saying is just put more in your mind so that way you'll have more to talk about and more. You can still talk. It's just how you talk about these things will change. That's it. Because imagine now if you got this knowledge, you won't just say I fuck with it. You'll say something. You'll say it in such a way like when she hold me like incense or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's lit or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll say something so ironic, like damn, that shit is fire.
We talked about that earlier, right?
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Get your vocabulary so you don't have to keep repeating the same
I
sentences.
got stiff over what he just said. I'm like in his lit.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
But
But you get like
my baby been dropping nuggets all day, bro.
so your whole verbiage starts to change. Like talk about Wayne, he was a straight A student.
valedictorian.
And what was he good at? Making you think.
Mhm.
Why? Because he was a thoughtful person. How you going? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't just a leader. He was a gallon. You know what I'm saying? He filled up on what he was. He made sure he topped. He didn't just want to be great. And he came from the same place as y'all. You know what I'm saying? He came from pain. He came from that stuff. But he made sure he was at the top of his class. He made sure he was at the top of what, you know what I'm saying? So that's all we saying. Just include that because that balance is going to be mandatory.
Yeah.
That balance is going to be mandatory. I can't just, you know what I mean?
Hey,
I
man.
like this, man.
That's deep, brother. Hey, man, I'm glad you went down there because like I was telling him earlier, like my man right here, my challenge to you is to increase your vocabulary. Like learn how to say the same thing without saying the same thing. Anybody can say, I went to the store. How many different ways can you say you went to the store without actually saying, I went to the store? Reason why I like Eminem can take you 100 different places and you know this joker talking about going out. And he never said the word street. You know what I mean? Because then he studied a dictionary. He studied his craft. You know, he used to get bullied in school, so he wanted to make, how can I beat these bullies up without having to put a hand on them? I'm gonna beat them up with these words. And he's going in, and after you hear it, so just beat me up, and I ain't, you know, be able to do that same thing in a positive way when you actually are able to influence. And I'm gonna ask you another question. This, you know, you can rest on this. You know, you can meditate on it. You got a 6-hour ride back. I want this to be like an ongoing answer. That before you answer, just think about it and meditate on it. The world of hip hop right now, the state of the economy and the state of society right now. You know, we had Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King. You know, we had all these political leaders, Malcolm X. They're dead. They're gone. Now you got a new wave of people coming in. When they're gone, what place or what position or what state are you all planning on leaving the world in when y'all time goes? Like what type of message you want to give to the world? What type of legacy you want to leave behind? The young people is coming up. These are people that are looking at you, and you might be one of them that might be admiring what you got going on. How are you going to leave the world for them to have? How are you going to pass the torch to them? What are you going to do in your life to pass the torch? What does that look like when you in your 40s? how you want the youngsters to represent you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're in your 50s, how do you want your grandkids to represent hip hop? How do you want your great grandkids to represent R&B? Like, what state do you want to pass it down to the next generation? Because the generation before us, you talking about, your parents, you know what I'm saying? They big in R&B and the old schools, the Temptations and all those old school people. Now you got the Ushers and the Drakes that's doing it now, representing for the culture. When they retire, what's the next phase? What does hip hop look like after we done? What does it look like? What do you think?
I think that I would pass it down to my family because there's a lot of my family that make rap and stuff. They want to do what I do. I got a little cousin said, I want to be just like you, a rapper. I said it's gonna take more than just being a rapper. You don't have to sign contracts. You have to do this and that. You have to you have to write down songs. And I got one little cousin, he don't even write. He ain't even act right in school. He always looked up at me and I tried to change him. But every time he get in trouble with his before his auntie whoop him, she'd send him to me so I could talk to him. So I have a little talk to him.
All right, let me help you out. Because one day I hope to see you on bigger interviews than this. Let me help you out. Tell me this out of love. You gotta take this. You gotta hone it in on what's being said. Because when that question was asked, what state are you gonna leave hip hop in? You can feel the energy in the room kind of like, I'm not trying to stop you, my brother. I'm not. You can continue your answer. But you're going off into your personal life. Know when and where that's received the way you need it to be received.
I would like to get to that part.
Okay, because I'm saying when you get to bigger interviews, imagine you in front of Sway in the morning or whatever the case. You're gonna be on the time scale. You ain't gonna be in front of somebody you know. It's gonna be in front of somebody who don't care nothing about you for real. They just got you in there because it's gonna bring they show some type of publicity. Until they get to know who you are. Then they may say, oh, this is a cool dude. I might need to get contact him. But they're gonna have to see something in you first. And I'm just telling you, by you being the youngest in the room, this is the opportunity. You like Carnelo going against Floyd. He was 23, had an opportunity. He had a tail whoop, but he learned. And he's a greater fighter because of it. You can take this opportunity and you can think I'm whooping you, but I'm not. I'm just trying to help you in this moment. So just take this in, hone in on the question, answer it. That's it, brother.
State. I really don't know which one, but it would be either one. I probably said LA, but I don't know which one yet.
No.
What?
All right. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Lee. What, and even though he's laughing, brother.
My bad.
Yeah, even though he's laughing,
My
no,
fault,
that's fine. That's fine. This is you right now. You have to focus in on what he said. The state, what are you going to leave? How are you going to leave the state of hip hop when you are gone? How would you want to leave?
We'll come back to you.
I feel like saying in my 40s, and I look back and say, like, somebody that used to listen to me, I got in my 40s, I'm out the game. I want people to be like, you listen to him, maybe, like, so that I could be myself in this music and stuff. I could, he should listen to him, make me feel like, oh, don't care what nobody thinks about you. Go do what you want to do. Or go be what you want to be. Go get what you want to get. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to leave behind. Like, my message after this music, I want my message to people. People think I need a music rapper that showed me how to, that taught me how to move on my own. That taught me how to make sure you go get money. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Make sure you're on top of the damn point with stuff. You know, I want to leave that behind. I don't really like. But that's what I feel like. I got some legacy behind me. Like, be you. That's my main thing in this music.
So what if you is reckless?
If I was reckless.
No, what if you is reckless? You said be you. So what if I'm me listening to you and you who wants me to listen. What if you was reckless? So you like, be you.
If you reckless,
Be you. Be reckless, my brother. Go to prison. Like what's just help me understand.
all right, yeah,
Help me
yeah.
understand.
Be you, but be you in the right way.
Okay.
Don't be you. Don't be a fool.
Okay.
Don't be the fool version of you.
Okay.
Be the smart and want the grow version of you. Want to be bigger than what you are. You not the you don't want to just keep going downhill.
The 5-star version.
Yeah, be the 5-star version.
There you go, man. Come
Yeah,
on,
be
break
the
it, bro.
5-star version of you.
There you go.
Be the best version of you. Don't be a fool and get going to jail. What you going you in jail? You ain't making no money in jail. You locked up. You ain't got nothing going on. You just in there with a whole bunch of other niggas. Go be you. Be out of that. Go make something happen. Go be the dude that go ahead. You got the biggest business in America. You got the biggest business internationally. Like you this, you that, you somewhere where you are the 5-star person, you like you said.
Yeah. Take that with you, man.
Yeah.
Take that with you,
Don't
brother.
be no stupid. Don't be always going to jail over nothing or doing stupid stuff. You know that's gonna put you in jail.
I like that. Be a 5-star version.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's it. That's my I want to leave behind.
There you go.
To me, I feel like you said earlier, it's a question like you can just think about it and you can answer it whenever you feel like you're in a position to answer. Right now, I feel like I'm not in a position to answer. I'm just not. I don't know. It's more like a moment thing. I'm in my moment right now. You find something I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, if you look at me, if you feel like you find this cool, you find it interesting, you want to do that, go ahead. You know, do what you got to do. But like me, I can't really answer. But I will elaborate on the question. Like, you know, I'll be the great person I could be, positive to myself and to others around me. And people out there looking at me, looking up to me, I'll be the best man I can be. That's the only thing I can do. But like, I can't really answer that. Like, I'm 20 something. Like, I can't
Ain't
really,
nothing wrong
like
with
I
that,
said, I
bro.
can't really dissect that right now. But
Nothing wrong with
whenever I do get to that point, 40, I hope, you know, down the truth, I hope I left a beautiful legacy you know, behind so people can follow, people can take steps from it and put them in their own legacy and graduate what they really want to do and stuff in their life. But not even got to be music, it could be fashion, starting your own business, food, like anything what you want to do. I'll be thinking what I accomplished, what I did. Not even music, you ain't got to rap, you do whatever. The way I handle myself, the way I do what I do, I'll be able to take little things from me and just do what you got to do and do your own thing. But yeah, I can fully answer that question.
Graham,
Well, same thing. What he said.
please.
I just pray that I leave a good example for everybody. Like if I would have died today, I hope what I taught people and taught them about, I hope it really motivated them to do better. Instead of getting locked up or selling drugs or drinking, smoking, stuff like that.
That's fine. I want to challenge all three of y'all to do something. To don't just seek out to be a rapper. If you want to rap, that's fine, but get into music.
Right.
Get into playing an instrument. Know how to put together the pieces of the puzzle to get to the rap.
That's what I
That's
think
the thing.
myself.
That's the one thing I've been saying. Like instead of just making the music, like rapping, I want to learn how to do my own engineer. I want to learn how to do my own like producer, my own this.
And one thing that makes King Asheville on my book top of his class is because he wasn't satisfied with somebody doing his music for him.
Right.
He has music out himself. He wanted to learn how to put the pieces together to engineer his own music so that he can understand when a mistake has been made, he can hear it. Learn how to put the pieces together that you're paying somebody else to do.
Exactly what I said.
And that's what I would challenge you all to get into the research of your people first. Who are you? I was watching Hot Box with Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson said he was talking to T-Pain, and he said, "Who are you? Who are you 10,000 years ago? You probably wasn't even black 10,000 years ago. You wasn't even a nigga."
Yeah.
But he wanted to know if you wasn't Cali, if you wasn't Fosco, who are you? Get into the DNA of where your people come from. Get into who you are as a black man first, then get into the music so you can know where the music comes from learn the music, learn the engineering, and then all of a sudden, I know how to rap too. I got something to say. You know what I mean? Get into the dynamics of what you're doing. Learn some new words, learn some new terminology, learn some new things. So when people listen to you, they got to rewind it and say, rewind that. What this sucker just said? Hit that one more time, man. Rewind that again, bro. He just said something, and you have to make your people really think and come up to your level. Instead of going down their level, make them come up to your level. Say something and then say, get them to figure it out.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? I am a drummer. Like, I got about 2 drum sets at my bed. Something like that.
So you know how to play instrument.
That's something I wish I knew how to like. I could join, like play the drums.
I can teach you like no drum.
Ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. I used to play this for a long time ago. Played trombone.
I mean,
Yeah.
I had a drum set with some pearl, and I got my one. It starts with a K. I forgot the name of it.
Or what?
It starts with a K. Got a K, but I don't know. Then I get a Yamaha drum set. So
Oh, okay. Drum set. Oh, okay.
yes, that's one.
Like the brand, like the name of it.
Yeah, the name of the company. It starts like with a K, but it's like a can. You know, I forgot the name of it, but it was like it's in the same family as the pearl, but it's a different family. Except the bass drum's like heavier and deeper.
I'm not into, I don't know a whole lot about instruments. The brand name.
Yeah.
Oh, and I play guitar, so
I was actually in a gospel group coming up. My dad was a minister.
What was the name?
It was the Gulf Coast Community
The
Choir.
shoe box.
Matter of fact, you see that record over there on the wall?
Yeah.
That's my dad's record. We recorded that back in 1988. And we had 3 of those records that came out. And I was part of this gospel group. My dad wanted me to play the bass guitar. He gave it to me at the wrong age. He gave it to me right around that time when I was actually discovering football. And he wanted me to learn to play the bass guitar. And I was more interested in throwing the football than playing ball. I remember he was like, you gotta practice for an hour a day. And I was in a room and I see my boy out there playing ball. I'm like, I don't play football, man. Get this all the lessons. So I had been doing this since I was 8 years old. And then I was like 13, 14. Man, I tightened the doggone string of that guitar, man, real tight. Sorry. It's good. And I ended up popping the strings of the guitar. And he was like, that mean you don't want to play the guitar? I don't want to play no guitar, man. I don't play football. Why you just tell me? I would have sold this guitar. Then I ain't had a heart to tell my dad that I ain't want to, because I had done it so long. But so yeah, that's my music. My music background is in singing and stuff like that, in the choir, groups and stuff like that. I think that I just listen to that song that we did with my dad last year.
Yeah.
Father's Day, and I let y'all listen to it earlier. That's about as deep as they go for me, bro.
I mean, you got books, that you not published, spoken word poem.
I got the books and everything I'm
Part of
working on.
music.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Books.
saying, like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to, like, that's my contribution, and I still got to go. Probably next weekend we'll get together and put that that song together that he did. And like I said, that was a phenomenal job he did on that song, man. And I just stood every day trying to get my flow. I got a name for it called I Am. So we gonna put that together. And welcome into your world. That's what you do. Yeah. That ain't like.
Yeah, man, we asking y'all questions, man. You got any
Final
questions?
thoughts, whatever with y'all.
Let me think really on something real quick. What drove y'all to do what y'all are doing? You know what I'm saying? Like how y'all feel like what made us really want to start rapping? Like what made you guys? What second the snap y'all like, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna stick to it. You know what I'm saying? What made y'all? That's my question.
First. I got a story behind mine. My grind comes with a story.
I'll let you go. I think mine's gonna be long.
Shoot,
You got
mine might
two
be
long
long.
stories.
Yeah, all right, so I short one. I just love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it. That's really love it. And Nipsey once said, he was like, yo, you find yourself going into doing whatever, and then you come back to it, going back, and then it's like you need to entertain that relationship.
Yeah.
Because it's something there that you can't get away from. So you
Right.
need to see where it can go. So I just love music. That's all. It's just me. No cap.
No cap.
Yeah.
No kissing.
For me, man, business is something that was, I ain't gonna say thrust upon me, but when I was a kid, my daddy, instilled this grind inside me. I seen my daddy work a job for 20 plus years and then get hurt on the job, and he had to get workers' comp, and he got a settlement from the job, and he had to resort to working like security job, unknown security job, just to make it. But in that process of him like reinventing himself, my daddy went and bought an old antique house full of antiques for like $5,000. We looked around like, what did you gonna do with this house? It's like a house full of dolls and antiques. My daddy took that house, paid $5,000 for it, brought everything out the house, brought it to our house, and sold it. Made $15,000 off this stuff. Flip it. Then I saw him, he'll make praline, pecan candy, whatever. We would sell that, make a profit. We had a hurricane come through. He bought a chainsaw. He bought a $300 chainsaw and made like $10,000 with it by going through the neighborhood, cutting down trees. So he taught me how to like not be broke.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Have a grind. Have something.
Because you don't know what the economy gonna do with the job, and then with the corona shutting down, a lot of people felt the pressure of what I need to do, because their job wasn't paying. So what it done for me, man, it took me to a place of all my life.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's this charger here. Every job that I done had, this is an iPhone, right? Yeah. Every job I done had, I done always had to go from the bottom to the top.
Right.
But this is a story that y'all probably don't know, and you probably would never hear this. I told it to you. I got the Marine Corps in 03. Went to go work in law enforcement to get some experience doing that. If you leave one uniform job, you want to get into another uniform job. Ended up working for sheriff department, county jail. So I've been an officer in the capacity of, being that person to either let you go or let you come, in that kind of capacity of being in control, being in charge. I was very arrogant when I was young. You know what I mean? To the point where I had to be set down. You know what I mean? I was indicted by the federal government for something that was not my fault, had nothing to do with it. And I did 2 years in federal prison. So going from a background of doing things on the up and up, military, law enforcement, now I was on the other side of the fence as an inmate. Had to abide by their rules. I was able to see the world through a different set of lenses as an inmate. And I remembered something I had said when I was an officer. I said, if you're in jail, you must have done something wrong. I remember saying that. Only to realize that the justice system is flawed. A lot of people go to prison not because they're guilty, but because they were able to get a deal done or some type of stuff like that. And I remember going on job interviews after I got out of prison. Oh, you the best candidate for the job. Unfortunately, background check says that we're not allowed to hire you. I remember going on an interview about 4 years ago. It was like one of the best interviews I went in my life. The guy got along with me very well. I cracked jokes. I made him feel comfortable. hands down the best interview of my life. And he said, I can't hire you because of this. I went in my car and I cried. I said, here I am as a black man trying to get back to society, trying to get my life back on track. And I can't get back on track because they won't even give me a chance because of a felony that's 10 years old. It was 10 years old at the time. I said, I will never let this situation happen to me again. I will never be denied for another job. I will never let myself be in position of getting at somebody else's mercy. After I stopped crying, I'm gonna start my business. I don't need a background check to work for me. So I started my business. And that is the grind that keeps me going, knowing that the society might not accept me, but I'm accepting myself. I don't need nobody to come here and tell me nothing about my business. Tell me that I'm not qualified or whatever my background. None of that. So every day I grind is because I know that I might not have a acceptance because of a felony. But not to use the felony as an excuse, because you see where you're sitting right now. He done witnessed it. When I met him 4 years ago, he knew where I was then. He know where we are now as a company, as an organization, with a felony, being in prison. So no white man ain't held me back. There's no such thing as, oh, they're holding us down. They're not holding you down, brother. You can be whatever you want to be. If you change your perspective. Let me see this bottle right here. All right. Is this bottle half empty or half full?
Depends how you look at it.
How you look at it? How you look at it? Half empty or half full?
And I say that
Okay.
Half full.
Half full?
half full.
Half full?
Half empty.
Half empty? Now, why you say half full? Why you say half empty?
Because the half of it left, and it's completely empty.
I'm looking at it half full because I'm taking a bottle as me. Like if I got that much water inside,
What you think? King out there. It's the perspective of him I want to get y'all to understand.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go with him and say half empty.
Why is it half empty to him?
because he
He just drank all of it. He started from the top. He drank it all the way down to the bottom. So it's half empty to him, right? My man up here ain't had no water all day. What is it gonna be to him? Half full, because he's thirsty. He's no longer thirsty.
Yeah.
So it's half empty. He's thirsty, so it's half full. So bars,
That's deep, bro.
Yeah, that's the, I
So-
repeat that. That's the,
your mentality or the perception of things is what you need to change. Not the world. Change your perspective. Are you going to let the situation keep you down, or are you going to use it as fuel? Because I could have ran and said, you know what, F this. I ain't gonna do no more work for these white folks. La, 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 la. Or I'm gonna say, you know what? Thank you for that no that you just gave me, because that was the ultimate drive that got me. You know that feeling you have when you somebody make you mad, your blood start burning and boiling. That's what I felt, and that's what I feel every time somebody tell me no. I want to prove them wrong. So sometimes you need somebody to tell you no.
Right.
Sometimes you need somebody to crap on you, because if your daddy had to stay with you right now through all your life, would you want to be a rapper? Your daddy crapping on you, give you that energy, that motivation to say, let me get this out of my system. And that anger, that pain, that's what you need to be rapping with to get that to the next level. So understand that we all go through things in life, but it ain't a mistake by God. He has you right where he wants you, because he knows where you need to be to get the best out of you. Right? I'm gonna say this quote that I heard Deion Sanders say last week on I Am Athlete. He said, be careful who you call role models, because a lot of models out here playing roles. catch that. You see a role model, you say, I want to be like this guy. You don't look at this guy playing a role in that.
And we did it. So
You being yourself or you just playing a role. But be careful who you call role models. There's a lot of models out there playing roles. You can hold on to that and along with King because you in this is his world, his music world. He can get you where you need to be quicker and faster than somebody like me. I can only put you in the resources and connection with this guy. He can take this thing and take it to the next level.
as a kid, I had to go get some work in, man.
Look like you ready to start writing now, right? You about to write down what I just said.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Do something else, too.
Huh?
Do something else, too.
Hey, well, look here, man. You can get wrapped it up. This is, a platform that we put together for this kind of situation. You all are the youngest men to be on the show, but
I got one more question before we wrap it up.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna shout out to like me and be done though. So
My last question for y'all, for everybody in Philadelphia that's still on, what would be one message that y'all want to leave with y'all fans? For this, for that.
fans
I know
are
your
like
moment, guys.
fans are like anybody. Cause like it's a lot of haters out there on these messages too, man.
Well, let's.
I mean,
But if you feel more geared towards letting the haters know something,
look,
Stay home.
yeah, that's touching that.
Loud, man. That's what you feel.
so whoever you feel geared towards at this moment, what would be the message you want to leave?
To my fans, I'm telling them, I got them. You want up? You want to up? That's what I can be like. Thank y'all for the support. Who is my fan? Thank y'all for the support. Y'all tune in. Y'all want to come up with me. Now, that's one thing I'm gonna love forever. So, that's just my message. Thank you for everything that y'all doing for supporting me and being there, listening to me for real, and genuinely like giving me like my pointers and my advice. You know what I'm saying? People that's really like telling me, being straight up with it.
I'm just not just for my fans, for people in general. I know a lot of people are like trying to change the world, trying to change the world. Don't try to change. Just trying to do your part. What you can do. Trying to make it a better place for you and people around you, and just live by that. Just move how you move, and don't let nothing throw you off, knock you off, or anything. What you trying to do. Just in life in general, anything. Like I said, I just want to. I know you like a musical episode, but not just music. I want people to take from this episode, not just random musical background, just life in general. Y'all touched on a lot of key points that I wasn't aware of, and I thank you for both of y'all for that. Just install knowledge in my head, but like I don't want people to take from just do your part and just move how you move and do what you got to do. And I'm trying to do anything little lame, all that. Just do what you got to do.
Well, I would say first, I would like to shout out to my mom. I appreciate you for being there for me and helping me through life. 'Cause I would have never made it this far without my mom. I really wouldn't. So I want other people to really appreciate their mothers as well. And motivate yourself. Just if you believe you can do it, just do it. Just go for what you know. If you got something on your mind that you want to do in life, do it. Don't hesitate. Do it.
That's
What you got for us the after party?
I'm here, man. I'm just here. I just appreciate the conversation. The gift of camaraderie is something we don't often, cherish. Just to be able to talk, just to be able to sit down, just to be able to have a conversation. Because there's some people in the world that are lacking of that communication. Whether that's with their father, whether that's with people they meet. So being able to say, yeah, I got something for you that I'm hoping you'll take with you forward. That's like Schoolboy Q. He said I had to enrich my sense without no money. And once you gain that enrichment without no, and right now you guys have been enriched. So now whether you guys realize it or not, you are just a bit wealthy.
And what we talked about wealth earlier.
Yeah.
Stop thinking that wealth and stuff and health and is all dealing with money. It ain't dealing with money. It's dealing with the state of mind that you're in. Some people say that health is wealth. This man is on a journey that you know, he can tell you right now that the money is the last part that comes. If your mentality ain't right and your heart ain't right, like you talking about your heart and all that, your heart, that's where the wealth comes in at. If you got millionaires that's committing suicide because they not healthy or wealthy, they're just rich.
Right.
They don't have no substance behind that. They just got money. So seek after, you know, a positive mentality. Seek after help. You know what I'm saying? As far as in terms of wealth and all the money and stuff, you get to all that. You got plenty of time to get the money.
Get the money first. If you're trying to do things to get the pain out, you're trying to fuck the pain away. Smash as many women, it doesn't hurt it. I'm gonna just get it out, or I'm gonna try to spend the pain away. I'm gonna try to spend as much money as I can to release this pain, but none of them dollars is you. It's a dead person on you. And ultimately, what you're doing is, I want my brother.
Mhm.
You've been sitting on the floor the whole time. You don't want to show your face once, man, because you've been supporting these brothers.
Man,
I don't
come
want
on
to
in,
leave you
bro.
out, bro, because you really.
You got something you
bro.
gotta say,
You
say
ain't
it,
had
bro.
no comfy seat, no
Yeah.
nothing. You just that's support, man. You gotta at least,
Sitting on the hard floor, man. Let's
Right.
my brother.
yeah, man. You've been supporting your brothers, man.
Gang.
And that right there is that's
SSB,
tremendous, bro.
SSB, for real.
That's so. I don't know if you got something you want to, let the people know, because you've been. Everybody who don't know, this brother has been really a part of this podcast the whole time.
What's your name, brother?
Shamar.
Shamar.
Money more.
Yeah, like, yeah,
Go by
Shamar
money.
Money.
yeah.
What do you do, bro?
Nothing, work.
Just work.
Yeah.
And you came on the trip from Statesboro to here to support your brothers. That's very good. That's very commendable. You know, having somebody to ride with you. You know,
Yeah,
even though they're
I
not
do
being
all
on the spotlight. A lot of people want to be there, but they want to be on the spotlight. But having somebody to ride with you, man, that's
Yeah.
awesome, brother.
I go sit in the studio with them. Like,
Every time I feel such a human.
yeah.
There's a lot of people not here right now. But he would have, no matter what. For a long time.
Like we brought everybody this whole room before.
Wow.
And
That's
them-
awesome.
and them-
I mean, real commitment though.
Yeah.
Not no, like these real brothers.
Yeah, these ain't no like just we just met with these ever since we started.
Real brothers.
You know, I'm like, don't move from the room. Don't move.
Solid. That's good.
So,
That kind of stuff inspires me, man. You know what I mean? You know, yeah. I don't have many friends, man. You know, the older you get in life, you have to, you move different from people and stuff. And I'm gonna end with this quote: "If you are a lion, the road to success may lead you to loneliness, because everybody is not equipped to go where you're going." Understand one thing about a lion: you don't have to worry about being invited to all the parties and all the shows, because lions and hyenas don't get it.
Right.
So anytime you see somebody on that party and they invite you, just consider that's not my speed, because you don't see hyenas party with lions. If you're a lion, stay a lion.
I remember that.
Remember that. The road to success, like my man tell you, it gets lonely at the top. You gotta know who you are. You gotta stand on your own feet. Don't be moved and shaped and changed by everything you hear and see and wind blowing. Know who you are and be confident in who you are. Understand? That's the definition of a true man: unshakable, unmoving, and be able to stand on your own feet, like he was saying earlier. You know what I mean? So if you don't take nothing else, take that.
Yeah.
You put that in the bank. That's money, baby. That's money. All right, y'all. That's our show for today. You are Inside the Den with Daniel Lyons and Evans. You got King Ashbel here, my co-host. I don't know what we're gonna do next, but we're gonna get some pictures done, and we might. I don't know.
The whole city.
It depends on how King Ashbel feel. You might hear us on the track sometime later on doing something inside. I don't know. I'm just saying. We all got skills that we can put something together. But look here, if y'all on here Inside the Den YouTube, subscribe to the page, like us. I'm on Facebook, Inside the Den. We on Twitch, Inside the Den. We on Instagram, Inside the Den. Like, subscribe, share, leave comments, whatever. and we will,
Shout out.
shout out, okay, do your shout out.
You know, appreciate y'all having us, you know, here inviting us, you know, shout out to y'all, you know what I'm saying? That's the first and biggest one. You know, shout out to City, you know what I'm saying? Shout out my boys, my whole crew, man. You know, next time you see us, we might have everybody with us, you know what I'm saying? You know, shout out all my boys, shout out my boy Talon, you know, last time. Shout out my head, shout out my boy Trini Cam, shout out my boy Ryan Hendricks, shout out G Huncho, Freak Home, Long Little Kato, Long Little OJ, Long Little Marche, Free LJ, everybody come over, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a shout out my coach, shout out my family. Everybody shout out my brother.
Thank you. I was like, thank you for the opportunity, man. Shout out to my mom, man. If it wasn't for, I wouldn't be here for real. I love you, mom. Shout out my mom. Shout out my brothers, Jay, you know, Duffy. Shout out Ryan. Shout out Rhonda. I love you, Rhonda. Shout out to Janelle. You know, shout out my gang. You know who you are. Man, shout out to the people who been rocking with me. Not just right now, as a person. You know what I'm saying? With or without you. Love y'all. EA, AZ, Cali, going up.
Yeah, you can go find me on Instagram at #1_5 STARR. And you can find me on Twitter at MoneyManSage.
Twitter, Instagram, Cali Bucket. CALIBUCK.
Slow that down, man.
They gonna
And
see
we
me.
got projects on the way. So be tuned.
I love our colors.
Well, shout out to my mama for letting me come today. I wouldn't be here with her. Shout out to my whole family. If y'all watching, I really appreciate y'all. And I might get another couple songs coming out soon. I don't know when, but I might drop one day. If it's like
I'm trying to say. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we'll see y'all next week inside the Den, 3:30, Saturday. Much love. Peace out.
You know what I'm saying?
Peace. Nigga.
Yo, that was good.
Yeah, I appreciate
That was
it.
good, man.
A lot of knowledge,